This video is over writing a vertex form equation from a graph. Follow along on a piece of notebook paper and you can bring it into class tomorrow. This is a picture of a parabola that we have, and yesterday you looked at the same thing with the projectile motion problems, except for your parabola was facing downwards, while this one is facing upwards. So let's go ahead and write our vertex form equation. We know it's in the form of f of x equals a times x minus h squared plus k. We also know that our h and our k represent our vertex. So that's the first thing we're going to find. The vertex of this parabola is 2, 1, and this is a minimum point. And that vertex is the highest or lowest point. In order to figure out what this equation is for this parabola, we also need to have a point to sub in as well. Sub in. So you can pick any point on the parabola. I'm going to pick this one right here, 3, 2 in that case. But again, you can pick whichever point you want. It wouldn't matter. So let's go ahead and substitute our vertex in first. We've got f of x equals a times x minus 2 squared plus 1. So again, where that just came from, our vertex was right here. Okay, we came from our vertex. Now, the next part of this equation is what some people got stuck on yesterday. We have got to substitute this point into our equation below because we're trying to solve for a, or our constant. So we know that the 3 stands for x and the 2 is f of x. So to substitute in, we would have 2 equals a times x, which in our case is 3, minus 2 squared plus 1. So again, I substituted these points in for our x and our f of x. Now we're just going to solve this, thinking about order of operations. The first thing we would do is we'd look at our parentheses. We're going to do 3 minus 2 squared. So 3 minus 2 squared, that's 1 squared, which is just 1. So now I have 2 equals a times 1 plus 1. Now, typically we write the coefficient in front of the variable, so I'm just going to rearrange that. And you don't ever have to show this step, but some people get the 1 and 1 together to make a 2, and I don't want that to happen. So I like to rewrite it so my coefficient is in front. Continuing to solve for a, I'm going to subtract 1 on both sides. I end up 2 minus 1 is 1, and 1a is just a. So that's our a value, or our constant value. So if we were to rewrite our equation for this parabola, we would say it was f of x equals our a value of 1 times x minus 2 squared plus 1. That would be our final answer for our equation. So just to review, substitute in your vertex and another point. I kind of highlighted those throughout. And then from there you solve for a.